Now, a question a lot of Flash fans have is, did DC kill off Godspeed too soon? Now, Godspeed is a man named August Hart, and is a speedster who at one point was actually a not necessarily good person, but definitely a person with morals. However, he would soon twist his own ideals and become a villain. A really, really cool villain, by the way. And then he would have a road to the redemption arc. And then he'd be killed off by Thawne. Now, Godspeed is a relatively newer character, and his death was pretty shocking to a lot of fans, because a lot of new characters typically don't get, well, they do now, but back when Godspeed was made, a lot of newer characters weren't getting as many fans as older ones. Now, yes, now there's Yara Flor, Punchline, Joker, Batman who laughs, not Joker who laughs. Every Joker laughs. My mistake. But now characters who are newer having fans is something that is fairly common. But when Godspeed was made, it really wasn't. He was, in my opinion, kind of an outlier of that time. That being mid-2016. With 2020 being the year where we started seeing more newer characters getting more fans. Well, 2018 for Batman Who Laughs. However, in 2020, Godspeed would be killed off, with the character only being around for 4 years. Now, this was a character who had a lot of fans. People pushing for him to appear on the TV show. People were just rooting for the character. And I think a big help of that was the character's design, as it really sticks with you. But the character's whole history of him becoming a villain also stuck with a lot of fans. And then he just got killed off. His death happened 3 years ago, and he still hasn't returned. Well, yes, he technically returned in dream sequences, flashbacks, but he hasn't returned in main present canon, making many assume maybe he never will. Personally, I think he likely will come back, but it is surprising that the character was killed off in a way that definitely stuck for a lot longer than I think anyone expected. Don't get me wrong, I love Reverse Flash. Reverse Flash is an amazing villain. But I think the Flash needs some villains who aren't Reverse Flash. And yes, I know the rogues also exist, but they typically manage in areas that are more gray than full-on villain. Some people didn't even like that Godspeed got redemption. Personally, I would prefer that he didn't, but I also could see why they did it for the character as well. But if he were to return, I personally would like the character to be a full-on villain again. He's just a really cool character. He's just a character with a very strong origin, a very strong design, a very strong personality, very strong motivation. He's just all around a really strong developed character. He would also make it into live action on the Flash TV show, which is a part of the Arrowverse, where he's used weirdly sparingly. I say weirdly because there was a huge push for the character to be on the show. So it's weird to me that when he got on the show, he was used only really every so often. He wasn't even the main villain of a season, but instead a 4-episode arc. Now, personally, I think him on the show is an okay character. He's not an amazing villain like he's in the comics, but he's an okay villain. I think his suit, even though it doesn't look as cool as it does in the comics, looks pretty okay. And it did take both Eobard and Barry teaming up to defeat him. Even if the way they did it was kind of silly with lighting lightsabers. It was kind of cool to see that the fact that Barry had to team up with his greatest enemy to defeat this new villain. August Hart also isn't as developed as he is in the comics. He does get some development when it comes down to him and Cecile's few handful of scenes, which I did like, but it felt like they were just trying to hold back the whole fight because they didn't have a reason as to why Godspeed wouldn't just straight up try to kill Team Flash. Now, he's set to return for the final 4 episodes of the series, which I'm pretty excited about. Also, this isn't me trashing on the show. I personally really like the show. Just, I think Godspeed is one of the characters that they didn't exactly do as well as they could have. But they did do a lot of characters also really well, in my opinion, like Reverse Flash, Zoom, Bloodwork. I even like Eva McCulloch. Anyways, that's it. What is your opinion? Did DC kill off Godspeed too soon? Should they have not killed him off at all? Should he come back? Like always, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!